Hello everyone, welcome back to Touch the Fire Twice. I'm Joshua and I'm here today to do an in-depth sniff review of the LAFCO New York fragrance Marine across 3 different product forms here. But first, if you are new to Touch the Fire Twice, welcome. My mission here is to share my love and passion for fine home fragrance as an enthusiast, an educator, a reviewer, to inspire you to increase your own fragrance knowledge and understanding, ultimately enhancing the scent memories that you create. If you want to learn more about what I do, why I do it, how I do it, you can check out my website at TouchTheFireTwice.com and go ahead and give me a follow over on Instagram, also at TouchTheFireTwice. But for now, let's dig into LAFCO Marine. So first of all, if you're not familiar with LAFCO New York, they're one of my favorite home fragrance companies out there, and you can check out this playlist of past reviews I've done on their products. LAFCO reached out and was generous enough to offer to send me these 3 products to review. Again, I've not been compensated for the review. They did offer these to me at no cost, but if you are familiar with any of my reviews in the past, anytime I partner with a brand or receive complimentary products, it does not influence my review. I will always seek the good in a product or fragrance, but I won't shy away from any negative or critiques. That goes for products that I've purchased or products that I've received, although if you've seen the past 12 plus years on this channel, the vast majority of the products I have purchased with my own money, including many LAFCO New York products, including this actual fragrance. It happens to be one of my probably top 5 fragrances from LAFCO New York, one of the first I actually tried with the brand. And actually about 2 years ago, I did do a review on Marine in the classic 6.5 ounce candle, which you can view here if you would like. I wasn't quite going into my now more traditional in-depth sniff review where I talk about the overall scent story the brand shares, what I get from it, performance, and then digging into top, middle, bottom notes, because as fine home fragrance, this is a truly perfumer-built fragrance with 9 to 12 notes in it. I like to dig into those and understand what are we smelling, how does it smell that way, and do I like it, and what do I like about it, and what other fragrances do those notes appear in, so that I can understand the difference between cedar and sandalwood or Palo Santo or oud. What do I like, what don't I like? So then I can kind of build the fragrance in my mind's eye and use it if I am purchasing something online, or just so I know what are the types of fragrances that I like beyond just woody or spicy or gourmand or fresh or floral. Really, what are they? Because again, as I say in my mission statement, if we increase our knowledge and understanding of fine fragrance, then we will actually increase the scent memories that create. You know, it's always about that mood, moment, memory, space, place, or time that those scent memories evoke for us. And I think if you know what it is, just like if you know the notes that you're tasting in a glass of wine, you're going to appreciate and enjoy it more. So today I will actually do the in-depth sniff review of the Marine fragrance and to talk about these 3 different forms. 2 of these are in candle form, and one is actually a reed diffuser, which I have only ever used a reed diffuser, gosh, many years ago, I think, and not from any of the luxury brands. So this is my first time using a reed diffuser with LAFCO. So let's first talk about the scent story, or how they describe this fragrance. This is from their House and Home collection, so it is assigned a place in the home. In this case, this is the bathroom. The gentle essence of marine water and sea air abound. Salty breezes carrying sea jasmine, rose, and cyclamen mingle with a hint of bergamot. Fresh rhubarb with vetiver and sea moss create the textured mood of a sandy shore. Being one of their most popular fragrances, it comes in many, if not all, of their product forms. 5 different candle sizes ranging from a 1.9 ounce votive all the way up to a big 30 ounce 3-wick candle, as well as hand cream, liquid soap, bar soap, a room mist, Pura Smart plug-in diffusers, and of course, reed diffusers. Let's talk through the 2 candle sizes I have received. This is their signature size, 15.5 ounces. This is most common, I would say. The 6.5 ounce classic is great, but if you really love a fragrance and want to get a strong throw, the 15.5 ounce really is the ideal kind of sweet spot. As you see here with all of their candles, it comes in a beautiful hand-blown glass vessel, trying to focus on the little wisps that you see within the glass that give it that variation. I have not yet burned this, but this is a single wick candle. They use soy wax with a touch of paraffin. That is simply to help the fragrance molecules get up into the air. Soy is denser, heavier, and paraffin is lighter. So when we talk about the throw and projection, having paraffin in there really allows the fragrance to carry a bit more easily, but it is primarily soy wax with a very clean burn, and they use 100% cotton wicks. Most of my reviews that I've done on LAFCO are the 15.5 ounce signatures, sometimes the 6.5 ounce classics, depending. The one that is new to me that I'm excited to try out to see what the throw in performance is like is, I mean, gosh, this is so cute and little. This is a 1.9 ounce votive candle. It is your classic votive. Again, still in that really beautiful, in this case, marine blue glass. A single wick there, 1.9 ounces. And as you can see here, I just have this on my bedside table. I have not burned it yet, but it really is, again, they say bathroom, but it is really a spa-like, calming, refreshing, but not overly bright fragrance that I think is really wonderful for the bedroom as well, or that sort of calm meditative moment. And so that is the votive that could be used, again, frankly, in a restroom, you know, if you have that burning when guests are over, something that is really out of the way, that's not too big, hot, and heavy. I think the votive would be nice for that. And what is new to me is their classic reed diffuser, which is 6.5 ounces of oils with reeds. As you can see here, I have the unboxing in my bathroom. When I was unpacking it, you can see there's just this really good rubber cork in there to keep it from leaking all throughout the packaging during travel. And then when you open that up, you see this is the same beautiful glass vessel that you're going to get on all of the candles, except for the travel tin, which is also great. Then you pop that off, you have 6.5 ounces of heavily fragranced essential oil blend, and you are going to put these reeds in there. It's going to very slowly over, they say about a period of 3 months, spread the fragrance in the room, and then every couple of weeks as the reeds start to dry on the top, you just gently take them out, maybe wrapped in a paper towel or tissue, and flip them over to get fresh oil exposed, and just continue that process of them slowly wicking the fragrance oils up into the reeds and simply diffusing through the air. So this is going to be a light to medium throw with any reed diffuser. I will say, I've been very impressed with the throw, in fact, and I brought it out here just so you can see what it's looking like now. The reeds have gotten a little bit darker. I took that video a few days ago, and I've given it some time to test. You can see the diffuser oil here kind of sloshing about, but I want to be very careful since the lid is off with the reeds in it. But it has a very healthy throw. I would say anytime I'm in the restroom, I pretty much am able to smell it, but it's not as heavy as maybe your typical plug-in diffusers that you're used to that kind of will, depending on the fragrance, choke you out or spread from one room to the next. Typically, sometimes I'll get this going through my walk-in closet, almost peeking into the bedroom, but primarily it does stay within the bathroom. And it's not overpowering, it's not overwhelming, it is there. It's enough that it does have a fresh marine fragrance in the restroom, and it's just the right amount of fragrance, I think, for an always-on fragrance. You don't want something that is constantly just barraging you, especially if you're like me or like anyone who's listening to this who is going to burn different candles throughout the day, throughout the seasons. This is something that adds but doesn't overtake any other fragrances in your home. So I've been very pleased with it so far. We'll see how long it lasts. I'll certainly update either here in the description or maybe on my Instagram if you're curious what the performance is like and how long the oil actually lasts. Again, they say for the 6.5 ounce classic diffuser, generally speaking, you're talking about 3 months. Now, I want to get into the actual fragrance itself for the fragrance nerds out there like me that want to dig into the 9 notes in this candle. So we're going to do that, but first, just to give you a general sense of it, you can watch my earlier review too for kind of my initial thoughts on it and where it kind of transported me and what it reminded me of back when I did that review. But there is sort of that musky amber sea marine accord in there that does make it seem coastal, but it does not have what you may often expect in a marine candle. It doesn't have that sort of heavy driftwood. It's not, for lack of a better term, cologne-y, like almost any Bath & Body Works fragrance you might smell that is oceanic or aquatic is usually going to have a heavy hit of something that makes it either ozonic or that kind of mahogany teakwood style driftwood that you get, where it just brings it very heavy and, again, not to gender fragrances, but more of that masculine edge. This is not gender specific, as frankly all fragrances truly are not gender specific, but thinking of what people typically think of, this is not a fragrance that leans heavy in that driftwood sort of typical way that you might be used to oceanic or marine fragrances. It is watery with some of those florals in there because you have both water lily and jasmine. A little bit of brightness from rhubarb, which we'll talk about exactly what that smells like when we get into these notes. Bergamot is there, but this is not citrus forward, though it is a top note in there. It really just adds a bit of a brightness to it, but I would bet that most people putting your nose in this wouldn't pick out citrus specifically. You're getting a little bit more of a soft, musky floral, definitely good muskiness to it from the sort of now they don't say amber in here, they say musk, but almost like an ambergris. And I do feel like there is a bit of that musky, not dirty, that fresh sea on the rocks, sort of. So it's a bit of the water, not ozonic, but a bit of that water. And it smells like the sea. It smells, there's a kelp sort of seaweed aspect to it, but not overly earthy or dirty. This wouldn't be considered an earthy candle because those florals really lift it up and brighten it. And of course, vetiver, which is a woody grass, and then cedar and musk as base notes, that does really round it out. But again, not woody from the cedar. There's just a bit of like that balsamic resinous aspect to it that just supports the top and middle notes. So overall, I find this, I would say, almost intoxicating. When you think of musks are going to be attractants. They're going to allure you. They're going to be kind of turn you off and turn you on at the same time because they are very animalic. And so it is alluring, this fragrance. But ultimately, it is also relaxing without being your eucalyptus, lavender, clary sage style spa fragrance you often get. It's not bright, it's not herbal or herbaceous at all, in fact. It really is softer and aquatic. And it's just a really unique and beautiful fragrance. Digging into what are the notes here, we've got 9 here. Top notes are bergamot, clove, and rhubarb. Bergamot is a citrus fruit grown commonly in Calabria, Italy. It is going to be similar to lime, zesty, sparkling, bright, have that pop to it, almost a fizziness. It's fresh, sunny, airy, and uplifting. Has a bit of a warm, spicy herbaceousness to it as well. Kind of the brightness of the lime, almost mixed with an orange. Then we move over to clove, which I think most folks know. Clove, of course, the dried flower bud. Sweet, spicy, rich, warm, woodsy, camphoraceous, almost medicinal. And in fact, clove trees are an evergreen tree that are native to eastern Indonesia. Rhubarb, I think most folks know it as either, strawberry rhubarb pie or maybe just rhubarb pie. It is mildly sweet, sharp, very tart. And in fragrance and also in the taste profile, it is going to have sort of a tart green apple, tart red berry note. They say it is used to add a mouthwatering zing to a fragrance. It's refreshing, fruity, and green. Getting into the middle notes here, marine, of course, is not a single note itself. That is an accord, so a mixture of different ingredients that evoke a marine scent feeling, again, mood, moment, memory, space, place, or time. According to LAFCO's notes for their marine accord, they say salty, green, and woody. This marine fragrance accord evokes the aroma of seaweed washed ashore. And that's what I was talking about. There is that little bit of earthiness to it that is the seaweed, but not fishy, not dirty, just green and vegetal from the sea. And then we've got 2 florals in our middle notes. Jasmine gives a richness and opulence to fragrances. It's going to be slightly sweet when it comes to a floral, but with a dead, sexy muskiness to it. Green, a little bit fruity, and some undertones of almost tea and musk. Water lily is not dissimilar to a traditional lily. Has some of the same sweetness, but it is overall a bit more subtle. Sensual, but with a delicate touch. It has that see-through, almost watery, unsurprisingly, quality to it. More fresh, fine, soft, pretty, airy, watery, versus a traditional lily that is more sultry and seductive. And to round out our bottom notes, we've got vetiver, really one of my all-time favorite when it comes to bottom notes. That is a grass native to India. It's related to both lemongrass and citronella, and it is harvested. The roots themselves are aged and oil is extracted from the roots. Earthy, damp, woody, hints of leather, a bit nutty, sometimes almost smoky, but yet also fresh. Moving over to cedarwood, if I had to choose, all-time favorite wood. It is deep, dark, resinous, softly woody, earthy, sweet, can almost be a little bit spicy, camphoraceous and cooling. It's the pencil shavings from school. It's less minty than pine and less musky than patchouli. So do those calculations in your head. And then finally, musk. Now, musk, of course, is a class of aromatic substances all on its own. There's many types of musk, and you'll see in some fragrance brands or categories, they'll say sheer musk, golden musk, amber musk, warm musk, insert adjective here, musk, because there are so many variations, primarily synthetics. But initially, musk was literally the glandular secretion from a musk deer. That is where the name comes from. A musk deer secreted the original fragrance of musk that was used in perfumery. But thankfully, there are also numerous plants that emit a similar style fragrance, as well as artificial lab-made fragrances with similar profiles. They're attractants, alluring, hypnotizing, animalic, sweet, powdery, metallic. I think most folks know what musk is, but it's not always that choke you out when you're walking through the fragrance aisle at a department store. That's not necessarily musk. Musk can really add a beautiful, hypnotizing layer, and I do believe there's a nice dose of that in here that plays with kind of that marine accord in the middle. So huge fan, of course, of LAFCO, huge fan of the marine fragrance, and I'm really pleased that I'm gonna get to burn this one. This really is one of those scents that could be year round. I tend to be a seasonal burner, so spring, summer, but really even if it's winter and you want something that is refreshing without being overly bright, fruity, summery citrus, this really works and fits the bill, which is why I was happy to put the Reed diffuser in my bathroom to last the next few months all the way into October. So that is my in-depth sniff review of the 3 products that were sent to me from LAFCO. Thank you again to LAFCO for sending those. Let me know what you think of Marine, of LAFCO, of these types of fragrances, your experience with reed diffusers, both LAFCO or other brands. Would love to hear your thoughts and or questions. And until next time, take care.